really a great pleasure to be here with you and an honor to invite you all, to have invited you all, and for you to have come here to this wonderful evening. It's the 10th anniversary, and that is something to celebrate. And that's also the reason why we, with the board of Business Partners International Africa, have decided to have our board meeting here in Kigali these days. Our presence in Rwanda has been 10 years, but in those 10 years it has taken various forms. And the last 5 years has been in the form of a perpetual company named BPI Africa. It used to be called BPI East Africa until recently, but nowadays it's called BPI Africa, of which BPI Rwanda is a part. It's not easy for banks to finance SMEs, and particularly SMEs that are trying to grow their business and are a bit more daring than some might think. And that's precisely where an organization as BPI and BPL have identified what the key criteria are to do that successfully. To go beyond what ordinary banks would provide, but do that in a very prudent way, making sure that there's as little accidents as possible. And not only do we set financial goals when we do this, we also set very distinct social goals, because it's not all about the money. So we set our team and ourselves goals about financing SMEs outside of capital cities. So not just stay in the capital cities, go outside, go into the bush, make sure that development is there as well. And the same with women-owned businesses. We set ourselves specific targets for the amount of women-owned businesses that we want to finance, just to make sure that the inclusion that we bring to economies is as big as it can be. And we do that in 5 countries. For the ones of you who don't know, BPI Africa is present and working in Kenya, in Uganda, in Malawi, in Namibia, and in Rwanda. And of those 5, I'm very happy to say that Rwanda stands out. Since the inception in Rwanda, there's been 113 transactions done with clients, which is quite a bit. The total value of that is more than $33 million. Within that, 37 of those transactions were done with clients that were women-owned businesses, so 1/3. And also in the volume you see that represented, because that is more than $10 million that we have been able to provide to those women-owned businesses. Also, when we talk about regional deals here in Rwanda, 12 regional deals for about $5 million over time. What we do besides extending funds in loans, funds also as risk capital, we also offer technical assistance, because often there is more needed than just funds. And we also provide mentoring to our clients, and we keep track of those, of the technical assistant offerings that we do and the amounts of money involved there. And here in Rwanda, we can say that over the time we've done more than 30 of those technical assistance offerings for over $700,000. But also particularly one number that we keep track of that we believe is very important is the amount of jobs, sustainable jobs, that have been created through the entrepreneurs with whom we started working. And that is close to 9,000 jobs. So I think also there, if you look at the achievement, that is really something to be proud of. Yeah. And for me, this is the first time I visit the country, and I'm very impressed by what I've seen in the little time I've been here. But my fellow directors have assured me that, and they've had the opportunity to come here more often, every time they come here, they see something improved, they see something better, they see something new. So there is this continuous trajectory on which Rwanda is to actually continue to learn and apply lessons and be part of the leading end of our world economy. If you look at, for instance, and Mark pointed it out to me and I hadn't seen that, if you look at the ease of doing business index that the World Bank composes, and you look at where Rwanda was, say, 15 years ago and where it is now, that's unbelievable. From somewhere in the hundreds to now in the 30s, which is, it's after Mauritius. Sorry, Mauritius directors, you're still number one. This is the number 2 country in Africa to do business, which I think is amazing.
It's a great pleasure for me to be here today and to represent the Ministry of Trade and Industry. I wish to thank you very much for inviting the Ministry to join you for this important milestone as you celebrate 10 years of operations in Rwanda. Congratulations indeed. This is an achievement. The work of Business Partners International is fundamental to this country's social economic development. Financing of SMEs is part and parcel of the entrepreneurial journey and represents the biggest challenge which businesses face when starting or operating a business. To have provided $33 million to over 113 companies in 10 years is commendable achievement indeed. Banking solutions are one avenue, but enabling institutions like BPI to establish and serve the market is critical, and this is the role of the government. So we're glad to see that we're working hand in hand to achieve the ambitious targets that we have set together as a country. Indeed, those being to achieve middle income status and high income status by 2035 and 2050. Therefore, products like your secured loan, unsecured cash flow support, equity financing for SMEs is pivotal to sustaining Rwanda's growth trajectory. To see that 1/3 of your financing is channeled to women-owned businesses is worth noting and appreciating. Your work on supporting businesses along the journey through mentorship and technical assistance is also important. Many of the SMEs are family-owned or startups, which often lack the professional business skills or best practices that can make them regionally or globally competitive, let alone investor-ready for acquisitions or mergers. It is therefore important that we support businesses to provide not only the financing, but the technical assistance that can mitigate risk distress, but facilitate growth. As a ministry that oversees and coordinates entrepreneurship development in the country, expanding the network and collaboration of support organizations and financing institutions like BPI is imperative. So therefore, as we look ahead for the next 10, 20, 30 years, let us join efforts to ensure that we can continue to support and provide this support to SMEs. And BPI has a very unique role to play. Thank you.
Business Partners nayimenye kubera project tutari dufite yo ku ahantu dukorera twasanze ari gahato, noneho dushaka ukuntu twashaka ikindi kibanza hanze y'umujyi ko twagura ikintu kinini tukubaka igaraje ryiza rigezweho.
I met with someone telling me about Business Partner International. I contacted them As you know, they're business-oriented people. They were starting to ask me about finance or the accounting system you're using, but I was just doing business. And then we got a technical assistance on business plan. And from that day, we started to see our business growing, because to have a business plan, it was like a startup.
Amabanki yose twakoranye twagiranye ibibazo kugira ngo baduhe iyo financement, ariko business partners baje kutureba turavugana bafinansa projet yacu.
They were happy with what we did, and they gave us a loan. Because what we wanted last time when we met them, it was for them it was for a mortgage. We wanted to buy a house where we wanted our business to be located.
Avantage ya business partners, process zabo ntabwo zitinda, baragufasha kwiga project, bakagukorera financement, bakaguha mukanakorana nk'aba partenaire, bakaguha n'ibitekerezo by'ukuntu wajera amafaranga ntiyangirike kandi ukora ibintu byiza. Nicyo nabakundiye. Nzakomeza gukora nabo, kandi urebye conditions zabo ntabwo zigoye cyane, kandi barumva umukiriya bakanaguherekeza muri project yawe. Niyo avantage. Mfite n'inshuti zanjye nzabarangira business partners.
They will follow up the challenges we're facing. It was really friendly and good. It was supportive. I will recommend, and I do it every day, each and every day. I recommend BPI to several people, because they're not like other banks.